this other guy who wanted to commentate, he's allowed to join us.
Hello everyone, welcome to Assetto
Is my internet
Corsa.
vibing again, or is it just...
It should be good, hello everyone, welcome to Assetto Corsa Competizione Round 6 here at the, quote-unquote, amazing Paul Ricard. I'm joined once again.
Ah, yes.
Yes,
That's
I'm joined
the
once.
way we like it.
Are you lagging? Or is it me? Okay, well, I'm joined here once again by my good co-commentator, Kimmy, who may or may not be lagging, but we're gonna make sure that's okay. But while he gets that sorted, we don't have much of a grid today, unfortunately. A lot of the drivers here may or may not share the same sentiment that I have towards the track, which is I am not a big fan of this track personally. Never have been in the F1 games, or even when I was driving this game. Granted, once again, it's that time of the week where I completely diss the Lamborghini because I was driving the Lambo here, testing it out, and was not very fun. But yeah, I have to try it on another actually good car maybe to develop a proper opinion on the track here. So this is not to take away from the beauty of the track. I mean, it's France. France is a great country. I would very much like to visit it one day. Just not a fan of the track. Yeah, Kimmy. What
Yeah,
do you?
hello.
Yes, there
I'm
you go.
back.
Okay, we're fine now. So it's a tiny grid, but we know. I mean, there are some people here. We might see a surprise or two
Yeah.
potentially. I mean, we kind of have our eyes on one guy and one guy only this season. As soon as I
that's
can
true.
get to him, here he is. This guy here is the one who is taking the world of 2SRL ACC by storm. Mr. Alexander Karsten. If you have not kept up with the first 5 rounds, this guy has pretty much dominated this season. He has won every race -1, and that's where he finished second. So
and on that race where he finished second, he was spun out as well.
yeah, he got spun out like twice as well in that race too. So
Yeah, and he managed to get back up to second. He's definitely the fastest driver on the grid.
Easily the fastest driver on the grid. That's not to take away from everyone else, because keep in mind, this is, like I said last week, this is a very, very competitive grid. This guy is just on another level though, like, even as fast as everyone is here. Yeah, you can't take it away. We gotta give this guy props. He is just insane. He is a force to be reckoned with in general. I've seen him drive in other leagues as well, along with you and Sam, I believe, in some of the endurance races, and he has run away with it. So I'm gonna do my usual thing of finding a person to. I was gonna do my usual thing of finding somebody to compliment with, but I am actually just gonna stick on board with him and see how he does it, because I feel we want to get a good experience here through Paul Ricard. So here we go. Coming up to turn 1 here. Once before the curve starts here in these cars, right there, as before it ends, I should say, hit the brakes, down a few gears into turn 1, feed the car into turn 2, nice and wide, run the curve on the exit. Do not go too far off, otherwise you will probably, I think 4 wheels off will invalidate you here, unlike an F1. After the 100-meter board, stomp the brakes left, right, just chuck the car in here, and now come up to the very slow turn 5, I believe this is, on the exit. I'm forgetting the order of numbers here, but here we go now. As we go tight onto this right-hander, you can pretty much cut that whole thing on the outside in F1 in this game. Play it safe, of course, very good. And now we come on to the famous Mistral straight here. As, again, comparing to F1, we would be approaching the chicane here, and then go back onto the straight here. Right here would be the braking zone, but we are going to keep going forward and stick to the left-hand side of the track here, because this is going to be the racing line in the GT3 cars as we come up to Seed Corner, which is flat in F1. You're not going to be able to do that in this car. You got to downshift almost and hit the brakes there before the 50. He goes a bit wide there, but sticks with the track limits. And now up to the famous Livose, I believe it is. It's nice and slow in. You cannot chuck it in as well as you can in an F1 car. Nice and easy onto the throttle. Get the power down as early as you can on the exit before one of the hardest corners on the track. You turn in early, let it run wide, and just kind of hug the inside. Again, you take it very different to how you do in F1 as we come up to the penultimate corner here. Oh, he's lifting off here, but you chuck it in here. Yeah, I think he's going to get a good run here. You kind of just want to carry as much speed as you can into this, take a late apex, and again, downshift there, lift off as much, get out of the power as early as you can, run wide there on the exit to maximize the traction, and get onto the power ASAP, so to speak, from across the line, and that would be a lap of Paul Ricard as oh boy, that's scary. That pit exit is one of the reasons we don't like this track, but that is Alexander Karsten, our current provisional pole sitter. 154.4 he did last time out. He's gonna pull in now to the pits.
I don't doubt that pit exit spooked him a little bit, but
yeah,
in game it does tell you someone is leaving the pits, so I wouldn't be hugging it that closely if I saw someone leaving the pits.
Yeah, it's you're taking a risk there. In F1, you can, I mean, with the AI, if you do in single player, you are not going to be able to do what you can do there. Like, the AI are not going to lift off or let you go or something like that, or like get out of your way. In fact, they're going to come back onto you because they're going to be desperately trying to get back onto the track there. And in real life, you kind of have to just keep an eye out on the pit exit, or in the sim racing, I mean online racing. You want to make sure that there's nobody there. Just kind of pick the racing line wisely, so to speak.
Yeah.
Is there? Do we have the pit exit from? Do we have the new pit exit, or is it the original one?
It's still the old one.
Oh, the old. Okay, so yeah, so yeah, before in I think it was 2018, and then halfway through 2019 they added the new one. The pit exit is here now, right there where that line is, into that side. So it's a bit weird. I never liked that pit entry, and yeah, it's Timo here pulling over to go back to the pit lane. Let's see if we can ride on board here. Yeah, we'll get to our maiden podium finisher last week, Mr. Antoine Olivet, in his home Grand Prix for the Lamborghini, which I just did my my dissing of, so to speak, as he puts it, people. So I actually
solid performances coming out here.
Yeah, we should mention we're doing something different for this race.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you want to run us with through what we're doing?
Yeah, sure. So for this race, we are trying out a new format with the timing. So we're going to start the race locally at 8 o'clock in the evening, and we're going to run it to 11. And the reason we're doing this is because we want to start in daylight running time, and we want to end with a full-on night race. So we have the transitions from day to night in this 1 hour that we're going to do. And that's going to be interesting because, as we all know, night racing, that's completely different. Temperatures drop, you can see less. People will be probably extending the track limits more because the curbs are not very shiny. You don't really know where the track is, especially Paul Ricard, because it's so flat. You have no grass anywhere to really tell you where you are, and it's gonna add an interesting element to this race. Also, there's been rumors. I'm not sure if it's true, but we might be seeing more likely to see rain during the race, as if it's 3 times time progression, it's technically a 3-hour race, and since the weather changes over the course of an hour each time, we might see some rain come mid of the race or start or the end.
Interesting. Okay, so that I don't. Yeah, it's RNG, I believe, right? From
Yeah,
them.
it is.
Yeah. So yeah, this could or could not happen. So we will keep an eye on the weather. Of course, for qualifying here, sunny skies. Here at Paul Ricard, 3 o'clock in-game time. It is currently 10:42 in the morning for me, so this is interesting. Gonna be seeing a night race in the morning. Very good. Yeah. So what I'm thinking here is, I mean, of course, there's not gonna be much going on here, but what I'm thinking is I want to see who's going to be able to avoid the drive-through penalties, and because if that's the case, we might see some. I mean, I don't know how strict Paul Ricard is in this game, but from my experience in even in like the AC mod of it that they have, it's at times it's kind of sketch in terms of track limits. In F1, it is notoriously strict for track limits. Like what you see Olivet do there, put 2 wheels off the curb. That's an instant. That would be a flat-out warning right there. Doesn't matter, as we actually got somebody back in, so we have Bremen showing up, so that's good.
Bremen, the savior of the stream.
Yes. So now we have 17. So yeah,
yeah,
we scored top 15, get points, MotoGP style. So yeah, that means 2 people will not score for starters, if that's the case.
So I heard you were talking about track limits. Can you just quickly just tell me who you're on board with now, run through how the track limits work on this game, and this track in particular.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch Olivet here again.
Alright.
Sticking, he's sticking to the right here. He's coming up to C.
Yeah.
So this is a good one to pay attention to, actually, yeah, so he hugs the inside. That right there would have probably been, running those curves is you're risking a warning in F1 right there. Like, especially on the inside.
Yeah, I don't know if you see them, but in some of these corners, especially the corner, the fast right-hander, on the outside there are a few boards, and those are track limit boards, which mean you can go all 4 wheels on the outside curb, hit the boards again. Just don't hit the boards, because that's where the track limit is. So the game is allowing you to extend. And
right there, sorry to interrupt you. What he did, I think he kind of just like took as much on the outside as he could. That would be, that would be pushing your luck.
And you see them again here. There's like yellow curves and boards to show that this is the limit. You can go to it, but not on them. And this does help a bit with track limits in Paul Ricard. However, it's still quite. I think it's still the circuit that I struggle with the most to complete a full hour without getting 4 warnings in a drive-through.
Yeah,
as it's very easy to extend.
I think most of that comes to the fact that the curves are so wide and there's so much runoff area. At the same time, it's just the way the track works. I think the layout of the track in Purge is like I saw right here on board with Silvassi, aka Salvashi. If you watch the F1 streams, he pretty much almost went 4 off there on the side there, which is allowed. But in F1, that is you're looking at a warning for that. So yeah, I don't know. I would think this is a lot more lenient. I think ACC does a very good job with track limits, personally. Like they're almost always as yeah, there.
So what Gavashi did right there, that's actually allowed.
That's allowed. Yeah, that would have been a slam dunk. Well, warning there easily. So.
I mean, he was on the limit. I will say that, but that was allowed.
Yeah, that was allowed. I saw he was on the inside of those marker boards. So. Yeah, I do think that ACC does a very good job with the track limits in general. I have always been, I always said AC and ACC are usually fairly decent. AC, I don't like the penalty system though, of course. Like when we did RSS 2019, it was you have to lift off to like 35 kph or stop for 10 seconds. And I mean, when we did Spa, I went off Eau Rouge and I lifted, and it still gives you the warning, because it's just like if you go off the road, kind of like you'll get the slowdown. It doesn't matter if you're like lifting off or whatever. But what I ended up doing was going to the bus stop chicane, trying to stop the car, and I guess I didn't do it in time or something, because it just disqualified me like flat out. But it is what it is. But here we have the qualifying session flag or the checker flag is out for qualifying. Right now Karsten is in the pits. Let's see if he's able to hold that provisional pole. Push is crossing the line. Is he able to do it? He actually does! So I was keeping an eye on him a little bit, but that is pole position at the moment for Push. So he has dethroned the man himself, Alexander Karsten, for the time being, because Karsten is into the pits, so his qualifying session is over. So let's see if he is able to keep that, because Silvassi seems to be very fast as well right now. And we have Timo and his teammate Illigner both behind as well.
Silvassi actually is 2 tenths down on his best lap at the moment.
Oh, so he might not be able to improve on this occasion, so this might not be pole position might not be a question for him, but let's see behind.
However, Timo is 3 tenths up on his lap time, but I don't think that would be enough to. Oh,
yeah, he's
not if he does
6
that.
tenths. Yeah, Van Dyke crossed the line, he's P8.
Yeah, no.
Kessel, I believe, does Kessel have a qualifying penalty? Or
don't remember.
Yeah, I'm not certain who did, but he has not put in a time.
His Timo goes P4.
So good lap from Timo. He puts it still half a second behind Push, who has put in a fantastic lap time there. As far as P9 at the moment, Van den Hunting, as I said, P8. Let's see what Veldman can do. He crosses the line, he stays P10, even though he improves on his time. Silvassi stays P3 for the time being. Illigner, let's keep an eye out on him in the Mercedes. See what he is able to do as he is coming across the line here to the
P5 here. Oh no.
We're out of time.
And Push gets pole.
So, that is it for us in qualifying. Great job, Push. That's pole position, but as I said, he has been one of the sleepers of this season, or of ACC in general, and one of the faster drivers on the grid, of course. In that Aston Martin, he is definitely a force to be reckoned with. But let's get back here and make sure the chat is cleared. Okay, so Karsten there, Alexander Karsten, our championship leader. He is in a bit of an unfamiliar territory, so to speak, but we know how rapid this guy is in race pace, so Push is going to have to do everything he can to keep him away. Zilvasi, meanwhile, behind P3, so that's a best qualifying result for him here. So fantastic job to him ahead of our Season 1 champion, Timo Brown. His teammate, Illigner, right behind him in the blue Mercedes, and alongside him is the sole Lexus on the grid, our Season 2 champ and defending champion, Mr. Chumley. Antoine Olive, home race for him is P7, alongside Van den Hudding. Krusvar and Veldman alongside each other, 9th and 10th. Robles, Taurus, Mills, Mearsman, Bremen, Weston, and Kessel line up the grid there. So a bit of a small grid, of course, a bit of an interesting race here. We are 8 o'clock, of course, in the evening, so sunset about sunset. As looking at the front, are those solar-powered parking lots that they have there? Yeah, I have to notice that because it looks like my university here in here in Southern California. My university has similar parking structures.
I don't think. No, I don't think they. I don't think it's solar powered. I mean, it might be, but I haven't seen that anywhere. I'm not sure.
They look like solar cells, kind of. I'm not sure, but that does look like a parking lot, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
Like that's
a little bit, yeah.
Okay, I need to make sure. I've never seen Paul Ricard outside of the track. Like I've never seen what's around there, so I'm not too certain. But here we go for the formation lap, or the half formation lap, whatever you want to call it, as
the warm-up corners.
Yeah, the warm-up corners. So you only get a few corners to do the warm-up here, but
it's just faster, so
yeah, it does. This does help us to.
All right.
Yeah, we're getting
I'm
ready
quite
here.
I think Alex is going to jump push, but we'll see.
Let's see what happens, though. We can't call it yet here. Push is already. I don't know what he's doing. Yeah, he's kind of gave Karsten the jump there already as we're green here in Paul Ricard. Good start there from Karsten getting the lead already. Push being too cautious. Silvasi falling back the order as well. Timo is on the outside of him as well. Into turn 1 we go. Karsten already going ahead and Push holding off Timo. Timo jumping up into the podium positions. Chumley and Silvasi going wheel to wheel up front as well for that P4 position. Illigner trying to get actually ahead of them both, so he does. So was staying ahead. He goes wheel to wheel with his teammate there. Silvasi stays ahead for the time being of Chumley.
Robles goes off the road.
Yeah, he has to cut and rejoin there, but hopefully he didn't gain any time there as the sun is starting to set here at Paul Ricard. Karsten has gotten away, but Push is on his tail. We have Timo and Illigner behind. Everyone lining up. No dramas there, so to speak.
I just want to quickly go. I want to go on board with Krusvar for this corner because he's been really struggling with this corner. I want to see how he manages to do it under race pressure.
Yeah, we're on board with him here as well. And now Van den Hudding getting a beautiful toe off of him. The Porsche is not very good in a straight line, as we know, and he is already ahead of him there. As we go side by side there up front, there is Timo, Silvasi, Chumley, Olive all ganged up together there. Krusvar losing out already to Van den Hudding, so that's P8.
Oh, Timo gets a little bit wide.
Oh, both of them go wide. They're actually, that's both Illigner and Timo, so both getting swamped there. Illigner loses out to Chumley, Timo loses out to Silvasi, who's back up into P3. So far they're going wheel to wheel still. Chumley trying to keep that position there as he gained it, and he does keep it, so that's P5, I believe, for him on track there. So interesting, the Mercedes both struggling there out of the corner. So a lot happening here on this first lap. Veldman trying to send it up the inside of Krusvar, as everyone is still very much in the pack here. Krusvar does get a better exit, but of course, Porsche versus Mercedes here in a straight line, I don't think that's going to work out the way Krusvar wants, but he is still alongside him, and has us there. Everyone's turning their lights on because they're just going to get dark very soon. As they go side by side into turn 1, Veldman actually does get ahead, and so Krusvar backs out of that. Now Mills is going to be all over the back of the Porsche as well.
Yeah, and I'm just going to quickly push in Karsten. They've already checked out.
Yeah, they are gone 2 seconds up front. They were fighting already so hard. So
yeah, so it'll be interesting to see if Push can come back at Karsten, or if Karsten's going to have another dominant race.
Yeah, I mean, he has become the Lewis Hamilton of this, so to speak, of this season. But
it's only fitting he's in the Mercedes.
It's only fitting, yes. But we cannot take away from Karsten. This is insane. This is insane stuff what he is doing here, but we ride on board with Push. He is not letting him go. He had that pole position. He may have fumbled the bag there a bit with that start, but he does not want to let it. He does not want to give up that easily. We know Push is very talented. We know how fast he is. Let's see what he can do here.
I think my eyes are deceiving me, but I think Kusva is gaining on the Mercedes down the straight. I'm not too sure.
He seems to be fairly close. Yeah, he is getting a toe off of him. So
yeah.
I don't think it's that powerful, though. Of course, as Van den Hutting now trying to make up ground here. I believe he is still P2 in this championship. And since Salminen is not here, the only other race winner this season, this is good for Van den Hutting in his championship fight for P2. As Olive is the car in front of him, and he is looking to find his way through. He's looking feisty, so to speak, on in that race car at the moment. But let's see what he can do with it as the time progresses. So 4 minutes in already only.
So it seems to be a little bit of a train forming up behind the Chumley. So a little bit of a Chumley
train, so to speak. Maybe. Oh, actually no, because there's a gap there between Sam and Timo there. Yeah, so the Chum train.
The Chum train, exactly.
Yeah, look at that. There are like 6 cars. There's like pretty much the rest of the grid is lined up there behind Orkest from Robles to Chumley lined up there. So Illigner looking to get his way through. We know how fast the Mercedes is in a straight line, especially compared to the Lexus, which is fairly decent.
The Lexus is actually very strong in the straight line, I'd say.
I was actually surprised. I thought it would be slower than that, but my eyes do deceive me as Push is now losing some time here to Karsten. 1.1 is the gap now. 3 seconds is the gap behind Silvasi, who is trying to just hold off this train here. Timo trying to find his way through Sam, trying to catch up to that and make this a bigger train than it already is.
Very close to Olive. I think Olive might have a look up the inside coming into the next corner.
Yeah, here he goes already up the inside, coming up to C corner. This is very much going to be, it's going to be close for them too. Let's see what they can do here. And I believe that is Olive ahead into the braking zone, so very good job to him. Is Illigner going to fight it back? No, he's not, but Van den Hutting might have something to say about it there, as they come very close to each other there through Levose, but Olive holding his own, so fantastic job to him, showing the pace that he had last week is not gone and was not just a one-time gig. So
and I just saw Illigner go off track where I know you will get a warning, so he's got a warning on him already, which is very early on to have a warning in this track.
Yeah, you have 54 minutes to remaining as well, so you have to go the whole time without it, and that's going to be at the back of your mind. Similar to me yesterday, I in the Silverstone race for 2S, I got a warning lap 1 simply because I was trying to give space to somebody, and I was lifting off, and I just kind of tried to make sure I didn't get it, and it was a really clumsy move to get a warning then, and that was at the back of my mind the whole time, because now I'm thinking I gotta drive smooth and cleanly instead of being able to push as much as I would want to. So
it definitely makes you back off just a little bit.
Yeah, you might want to take it a bit easy and just play the long game, because I mean we've seen it happen at the end. People can't get that drive-through penalty, which is a big issue, as that's a spin there, and that is Crucivar.
Porsche Crucivar. No.
I think you jinxed him. Early in the race he said something that he was worried, but that's Crucivar off the road there, and
I'm honestly not surprised. I saw him in practice, and he was complaining in practice, also laughing in practice. I think he completed 1 lap without spinning in practice, so even the fact he's gotten 3 laps down, I think good job to him.
Meanwhile, Van den Hutting there has a fantastic run on Illigner. Is he going to be able to make the move here into C corner, which seems to be the overtaking spot of choice by a lot of people? Up the inside he goes, and he gets that move done very cleanly, so very good job to Van den Hutting. Illigner goes a lot wide again. Is that going to be another warning?
That's another warning, that one.
Yeah, so that is, yeah, that looked like he went off the thing there, as Van den Hutting loses the rear a little bit, but keeps it under control, and seems to be safe for the time being from that, as Illigner struggling for pace here. I don't know if it's cold tires or something, or just maybe overheating tires even with the sliding, but just very low grip for him at the moment. Veldman is catching up to the back of him. So up front, Push is starting to close back in on Karsten. So this is not over yet for him. Karsten can't breathe. He can't breathe entirely at the moment. He can't take off into the distance just yet. He has to keep that in mind, that the gap is getting smaller and smaller, and Push is turning the wick up. So He might have been
It'd be
given
interesting.
scenario 7 here by his engineers, whoever they are, or whoever they may be. Because,
Exactly. Ooh, Timo gets a really good run here on Savazzi, and he might actually get him into this corner.
yeah, here he goes late on the brakes here. Actually,
Decides to back out a little bit, I think.
yeah, Timo is a very he's a very consistent and collected driver. He's not going to go for a move if he thinks it's not going to work out, and that has worked out. And that particular mentality has given him a lot of good. As already, we already said it. It's only 51 minutes to go, and Illigner already has that drive-through penalty. So that is already pretty much a disaster striking at the door for him. As up front here, let's see if Timo's able to get back onto Silvassi. We know the Ferrari is not particularly fast, so to speak, in a straight line. Yeah, Sam's also back there as well.
He's got speed on him.
Yeah, look at that straight line speed he's got. Yeah, up into C corner. He gets a little bit wide there. It goes very much off the road. So he's going to have to rejoin here safely. Yeah, and he loses out of position for that too. In that
was a very hairy moment.
Yeah, that was scary. It could have been worse. Better to lose one position than lose all of them. So
and your tires. So
yeah, and tires. So a bit feisty from Sam. We saw Timo as well makes an error. So everyone is starting to struggle here with tires. It's from the looks of it. And Timo might actually lose out to Olive as well, who's up in a P4 now, taking advantage of everyone's troubles and doing a very good job on his own there, from 6th to 4th within 2 corners.
Olive podium?
Again, and this time around at his home Grand Prix, that might be what he wants to see. So let's see what Silvassi can do, because he's driving a very strong race at the moment, and they're all struggling behind him. But Timo might still fight this back. He does seem to have a decent-ish run on Olive, and same as Sam, both looking fast in a straight line. But Olive holds off on for that at the moment. Illigner not yet serving his drive, but will potentially be in soon.
I think Sam is going to show Timo how to overtake into this corner, probably. Yeah, and as they go up the inside...
Oh, he goes up the inside! What happened there? I was riding on board. Where is Timo now?
Timo's... Yeah, he's gone... Okay, Sam's gone past Timo there.
That looked a bit sketch from that angle. It could be argued, yes, Timo... Or it could be argued Timo turned in on him, but it could also be argued that Sam sent it. I didn't see how late it was on the brakes, but...
Timo would be foolish to not expect Sam to send it there.
Yeah, Sam is an aggressive driver in a good way, of course. We know that he will go for a move. He lives by the golden rule. If you no longer go for the gap that exists, you are no longer a racing driver. Even if that gap doesn't exist, he's
Exactly.
Shout outs to Spa Season 1 again, but anyways.
He created the gap.
Oh, okay, that's 2 cars off there. No, that's 1 car off actually. Timo going very wide, and now himself losing again out there wide again, and that's 2 positions lost to his teammate and to Van Hunting. So this is going very much wrong, or very south for him.
With the whole team, like the Black Falcon team, they are really struggling.
Yeah, their team principal is not going to be happy with what he's seeing. Up front now, keeping an eye out on the battle for the lead. If you want to call it a battle anymore, because I think Karsten is pretty much checking out. Yeah, I'm not trying to be...
but surely inching away.
Yeah, push though. Yeah, look at the gap. It's going down. He's lost like a second this lap.
I think he maybe made mistakes.
Yeah,
and as Illigner goes into the pits, either to... I think that's to serve his drive-through penalty.
Yeah, looking there, Karsten was almost a full second faster than Push, or 9/10 of a second faster than Push that previous time around. So a costly error somewhere for Push, maybe, and that has given Karsten some breathing space. But of course, it is only 1.8 now. That is not enough to fully breathe, but that might give the mental edge to Karsten in this battle here, as Mills as well gets a drive-through penalty. So track limits are proving to be a big problem here for many drivers. So
I will say though, if you're not pushing too hard, it is quite easy to keep it within the track limits. I did a practice test with Karsten a few days ago, and I actually managed to win against Karsten somehow. I have no idea, but we had a very enjoyable battle, and we kept it within the track limits. So it's really just a matter of practicing this corner, really knowing where to push, where not to push, and also being confident in your car that won't just snap on you when you turn in.
that's a good. I think that's just a good rule of thumb for any track in general. Just know where you can and cannot go gain time on the track limits without getting a warning. Know how to do that consistently. If it's too risky, don't bother with it. And I mean, sometimes it's unavoidable. Like in this track, it is very easy to make errors like that. But meanwhile, Push is still lapping, so to speak. He's not lapping badly here either still. Let's see what he does around this time. 55.9 for Karsten, 55.8 for Push, so he is turning it up again and is the faster car between the two of them at the moment, so...
It's a pretty hot battle going on for P15 at the moment with Illigner and Bremen.
Yeah, here we go. Illigner trying to make up ground again for what he lost here. Bremen not having a very exciting race, so to speak, in the back, but he is still in the points. So this is a battle for the last point position, as Illigner absolutely just sends it up the inside there into the penultimate corner, and that comes onto the final corner, and Bremen sees him, doesn't want to take any risks there, and just doesn't fight that extremely hard, but might have been caught napping a little bit, so good move from Illigner, and good awareness from Bremen, giving him the adequate space there, so... let's see what these two can do. He might be able to follow him through and catch up to Marius Taurus here in the Audi.
I'm interested to see in the pit stop strategy, because if I'm not mistaken, as soon as he gets into the darker stages, the track temperature will really drop, and that will affect your tire pressures. So I'll be interested to see how people are going to adjust the tire pressures, or if they're going to pit now, will they have to struggle in the race later on, or if they pit late, will they struggle once the temperatures drop? I'm kind of interested to see like who is going to have the best strategy here.
Yeah, speaking of that strategy, I mean, this battle for the lead might be determined in part by the ability to maintain those tire temperatures, because already it's 20 degrees, it's starting to get a bit dark, it's almost 9 o'clock in game time, and that is going to yeah, you can already see it's already getting fairly dark. The sun is still setting, so there's still sunlight there, but of course you are going to need the lights, so everyone will have their headlights on around this time now. But as you can see,
I don't want to jinx it, but I think Illigner's going to get another drive-through quite soon.
Is he struggling still in the background there?
Yeah.
Oh dear, yeah, I mean, it does seem like the grip is lacking for a lot of drivers, so...
Yeah. There's a lot of the cars are they seem quite unstable. Not a single one of the cars looks very comfortable on this track at the moment with the conditions.
Keeping an eye out here, Van den Hutting and Timo are back again in another battle here. Van den Hutting trying to keep Timo behind after gaining that place on him. Timo was struggling there in the beginning as oh, that's a bit of contact there. Timo does back off of that bit of a bonk, but luckily nothing happens there, and Timo does give him a bit of breathing room. So I think did he flash him there to apologize, or was that just the sunlight?
Probably. I did to flash to apologize. Yeah, okay, there.
Yeah,
Sorry in chat.
I can see, yeah. But Timo does have a run now. Van den Hutting was a bit compromised, but Timo did kind of give some of that time back, lifting off there into the corner to make sure he didn't overtake him there. So just good sportsmanship from him. Van den Hutting doing his best to defend, and is probably going to keep the position here into seed. Yes. So Veldman lurking behind. He didn't have a particularly strong qualifying, but he is up there in P8 now. As I say, he's usually the one to take advantage of incidents. He does have Mills behind him, but Mills does have the drive-through penalty he has to serve still, so that's not much of a trouble. He doesn't have to really trouble himself with him. If he wants to go, he could just let him go and then still come out in front of him, because he will have to see he's going to be losing time there, so...
Yeah, and I think as racy as Mills has been with Nico, I think he's going to have to sadly dive into the pits and service drive-through this lap.
Yeah, I believe you get disqualified if you don't serve it in time.
Yeah, you have to serve it within 3 laps, otherwise you get disqualified.
So keeping an eye out on the gaps here up front. Push is lapping faster, but only just faster. They're basically matching each other throughout these lap times. Both of these guys absolutely gunning it as Sam comes in for a scheduled pit stop. So let's see where he comes out afterwards. So we're going to keep an eye on that. We know in the past few races Sam has gone in for early pit stops and made the tire wear work because of how hard it is to pass with these cars. So.
he really enjoys the undercut strategy, as to say. Although it doesn't really make sense now because he had basically no traffic in front of him, and they were all basically running the same times as well. So unless he's going to put new tires on, put in 1 or 2 quali laps, he might just jump Olivier under the pits.
Speaking of fights going on here, or if there was mention of it, here's again round 2, Timo versus Van den Hutting. So the season 1 champion trying to prove his worth here and try and gain some time back here after struggling there with the grip. Let's see how good the straight line speed is for him. Van den Hutting seems to be quite slippery himself, but Timo looking rapid as well. Let's see if he pulls out to the inside line here to seed corner. Is he going to be able to beat later on the brakes? We know how good these two are in racing, so let's see what the consensus is here. Down the inside he goes, but Van den Hutting swoops around the outside to defend that. Very good job from him. So,
that was very close to disaster, that was.
Yeah, Timo swoops in, or tries to switch out of it, and Van den Hutting just holds his line. Very well done to both of them. Good racing so far, good defending from Van den Hutting, showing how defensive one must be in these instances, and showing the lengths you have to go to hold off this position, because this is detrimental to a certain extent in the championship. Of course, any point counts, doesn't matter how far ahead one may be. So let's see again the lap times here. Karsten 55.7, 7.2, or 7.7 for Karsten, 7.2 for Push. So again, just only half a tenth or so. Push is catching him only. So it's basically matching. They're matching each other.
Now as Timo goes in for what seems to be a scheduled pit stop.
So we're gonna keep an eye on where Timo comes out. I think he's trying to cover off Chumley here. So we're gonna ride on board with Chumley here as he comes through Le Bosse on those fresh tires. Track is getting dark now. The sun is almost gone, so just only you can't see it anymore on the track, pretty much. And the night sky will come out soon. So let's see. See from this angle here. Yeah, you can see the sky is grayish. So gonna be darkening soon. We will finish at, I believe, 11 o'clock in game time. So let's see now. Sam is coming across the start finish line here, and he's actually going to be well ahead of Timo, who is just exiting the pit lane now. So that's quite a gap he's got as well, so I don't know how strong that was, but it might have been strong enough.
Yeah, there's also pit stops in this game are very finicky. It's very easy to get a perfect pit stop, but it's just as easy to really mess it up and lose about 7 seconds where the crew just sort of puts your car in the right place before it lifts you up on the jack. So it could have been a mistake in the pit stops. It could also just have been that the undercut strategy here looks strong, and in that case, that means Olivier should start being worried because Sam is coming for him.
Let's go right on board with Olivier now. Then he's just entering the pit lane now. So see where he comes out. Let's see if he's able to cover this off, or if Sam has pulled off another strategic stroke here. As Push actually comes in as well, so I just noticed that. So going for the undercut. So let's see if he can nail this pit stop, because this might be detrimental to what happens in this race. So that is, he's gonna have to absolutely gun it. The track. Oh, okay, he moved forward a bit there. I don't know if he messed it up or not, but hopefully he didn't. Let's see, Olivier as well is up there. So Push gunning a lot on this here. Engine off now for the time being. Crucivar into the pits as well. Kessel and Robles move up positions there. Van den Hutting up to V3. Karsten, let's see what he does. So 55.5 for him last time around. Let's see what Push was able to do. 2:04, but that's with the pit entry. So
I think Push has had a bad pit stop because he's definitely been there for 30 seconds now.
Yeah, it seems like he didn't slow it down.
Olivier's off. Yeah, Olivier's off.
So something's happened to Push then, yes?
Yeah, he's either coming way too hot or coming too short, and in that case you have to, because if he's got manual engine on and off, Timo's just jumped him as well.
Oh no, so he is, yeah, this seems to have gone downhill for Push. His only saving grace now is if Karsten similarly makes a mistake here, so we'll see what he does. But we know Karsten is fairly comfortable with the pit stop, so
Yeah.
that might have
Oh,
been.
and Sam's gone past Olive.
Okay, so Sam has made this work. I can see there Olive losing out there. So yeah, Karsten is covering him off as well, is into the pit lane. So let's see.
Yeah, so I was saying with the pit stops, like if you stop a bit too short and turn off your engine, it'll just say, please move forward, and you cannot do. You have to turn on your engine again, move forward, turn it off again, and then hopefully they'll put you up at the jacks. But if like you can, there's not much margin for error in the pit stops, and it's something I practice, and I have a breaking point now for my pit stops. But if you don't practice it enough, it's really difficult to get right.
I'm trying to keep an eye out here. Karsten seems to have got it down, but yeah, I've seen the struggles that some people may have in the pit stops over time. Yeah, push 2 seconds behind Timo, who is well behind him. So yeah, he has lost a lot here. So just trying to count down here, Karsten, where he's coming out. And he has dropped off already. Yeah, so looking here, yeah, I don't think he's gonna be under any sort of threat here. He's gonna come out well ahead of everyone. Mearsman there is behind, but he has yet to stop. So Vasi is looking at me. Yeah, look at the gap he's got. So Vasi might actually be out here nearly in P2. Actually, this is the fight for P2 now. They come out side by side, but Vasi is going to be on much fresher tires. So let's see what he's able to do here.
Because it's going to be a good fight for the podium now.
Yeah, we've got 3 of them here. So Karsten,
35-minute podium sprint race.
Yeah, Karsten seems to be gone now with this, and we have a 3-man fight here for the podium position. Push was absolutely driving a fantastic race, but unfortunately he seems to have lost it all in the pit stops, which seems to be a recurring thing here, which is very unfortunate. So see, Timo is in the distance there. Push is farther off that now, so the top 6 are yet to make their mandatory pit stop.
This is it's gonna be an interesting battle to see for P2 and 3.
Yeah, I can see now. Yeah, so Vasi trying to keep in the toe of that Lexus, but he's got a very fast-looking Lamborghini behind him as well. So let's see what Olive can do with this. Timo is gonna have to put his foot down if he wants to make up that time and get into this fight as well, because he's got 5.7 seconds to make up. So Vasi here sees Sam makes a bit of a mistake, goes a bit wide, but does get a good enough corner exit there, and is in no immediate threat. Olive, meanwhile, lurking in the back as well. All 3 of these guys wanting this podium. So this is the fight for P2 and P3. So let's see who's going to take these 2 podium spots. Kessel and Van Houding both come in. Olive hounding Zilvasi around each corner and trying to find his way through and please the home crowd here. Had some bad luck this season, he has, Olive, but trying to make his way past it and find a way beyond it. And he has already gotten P2 last week out after driving fantastically and making that strategy work. But let's see if he's able to replicate that again. So
I'd say Olive is really the driver that's impressed me most this season.
Agreed, same. There's always one driver every season that kind of is the one who's picking up the podiums, picking up the good results, picking up, making the improvements. So, for example, was in season 1, I would have said that was Veldman easily, who is currently in P1, but yet to stop, and is probably going to come out with it somewhere near this battle potentially, or he might get jumped a bit, but
he might come up in between the Timo Push Van der Houding battle.
Yeah, and he might actually be able to make something of it because he's going to be on the precious tires. So, speaking of battling, again, here we go, Zilvasi and Sam trying to go wheel to wheel here. Zilvasi gets a very good run coming up towards C corner again, but Chumley has a bit of a distant slipstream from Mearsman, who has yet to stop. So he is not a blue flag car, and
Mearsman has no obligation to move over for these guys behind him.
Absolutely, as Sam does make a bit of a does make a bit of a mistake there. Mearsman does go wide, Snyder lets them go, and I think Zilvasi does get the move done there, so he is up in a provisional P2. So Mearsman,
I think this battle is going to continue.
Yeah, this
I
is not
think.
over yet for sure, but Zovasi doing a very good job there and making a bit of a gap. So,
I can
Olive,
sense Olive is hungry for that podium again.
yeah, he is. Sam is, of course, like we said, going to be on worn tires compared to these guys. The top three all into the pits, so Veldman, Robles, and Illigner. Mearsman is the last driver. Let's see if he might come in now, is he? Or,
Yeah, he comes in.
yeah, so everyone has made their pit stop now, that means, once that's over. So these three go through. Timo losing time, actually. He's 6. Or, well, no, he's not, actually. It's 4.8. He's gaining time, sorry. It said 6 for there for a minute, so, let's see where these guys come out. Where is Veldman? Let's keep an eye out there. So, Van den Hutting there. Veldman, P9, I think it is, if I'm not mistaken. So, not too sure what that position will be when it. Yeah. Here we go. It's gonna refresh in a minute.
Yeah, P8.
Okay. So yeah, that's Van den Hutting P7. Yeah. So Push losing 4 positions from that pit stop, unfortunately. But like we said, he's not out of it. Zovasi though, gunning in now and looking very powerful in that Ferrari at the moment. P2 and making a gap to Sam. Olive, meanwhile, trying to find his way past the Lexus of Sam. Season 2 champion here, of course, for a reason, being very fast and a very accomplished driver here in ACC at 2SRL. And still not letting Zovasi go, of course. So all 3 of these guys want this very badly. And let's see, it's not yet, the sun is not fully set just about yet, so.
Yeah, I think it's in the last 10 or so minutes, I think it'll be fully dark.
Yeah, once we get to 10 o'clock, I would assume it's going to be dark.
Yeah. As we were saying, the track temp has dropped by 1 degree already.
Yeah, so we're halfway through the race here. We had 19 degrees track and air temperature, so.
I wonder how many of them took that into consideration on the pit stop to have the optimum pressures for when the night comes.
Yeah, we're going to keep an eye out on who's going to be. You'll see some sliding around potentially from those who cannot warm the tires. Olive doing the desired racing line for me. What I wish I could do in F120 in a 2020, but yeah. I believe that's what they do in real life, as well with the cars. But it's Sam looking a bit.
Olive is looking very close to Sam, and he might, if he gets a good run here, Olive, he might be able to take Sam down this straight.
Yeah, we're gonna keep an eye out there. Push, meanwhile, right on the back of Timo, trying to make up ground as well. Let's see what Olive can do here. Chumley struggling a bit to hold off the fight from the Lamborghini, but Olive wanting this position, wanting to get another strong result here, of course, as we come up towards Scene Corner. Is he going to have a look up the inside here?
I think this honestly just shows how fast that Lexus is. Because the Lamborghini is fast on the straight, but even in the slipstream of Sam, he can barely get close enough to even consider making a move.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. I don't know if it's the setup that Sam is running or not, but he is being able to hold his own. But look at this. Olive all over the back of him now, trying to find a way through, trying to crack him. But Sam, rock hard in his mind.
All this has been happening. Push has just gone past Timo.
Oh, there it is. Okay,
so Push might start hunting down that battle for the podium.
We do know that he is fast, Push. So we do know that he is able to maybe get back onto this. He was lapping with Karsten there, faster than Karsten at the beginning of this race. So all down to that pit stop, like we said. So. As Carson's going through turn 1 now, these guys are just coming across the start-finish straight. Already through, I should say.
Carson's currently 10 seconds ahead of P2.
Yeah, he is gone, and this seems to be another trademark classic race from, or classic dominance from Karsten, as we have seen all season from him. So let's see him keep up this performance as Mills gets another
drive-through.
Another drive-through for Jack. So that's unfortunate for him, as Veldman is 6 seconds off the back of that pack here. This train here that Push has got on him at the moment. Timo and Van den Hutting might be embroiled in another battle soon. Let's see what Olive is able to do still here with Sam.
Yeah, I don't think he's close enough.
And that's actually a 30-second stop and go penalty. So did he speed?
It's just, yeah, that means he sped under the pit lane.
So this is all gone downhill for Jack. Very unfortunate.
Yeah, I think he might retire now because there was no. I wouldn't see a point in racing him. His team might just tell him the car is broken and then he has to come into the pits.
Hello. So something is happening here with the frame rate. That's interesting. Let me just fix that real quick.
Oh, so Levi is really close to Sam. Might have a look into turn 1 here, actually.
So let's see what Olive can do here. Fix the feet up the onboard camera here. Steering his way through turn 1 and 2. Now trying to find the opening here. Not able to do it there.
Yeah, I think the reason he's struggling so much is because that Lexus is just so quick down the straight. Like you can see the Lexus is like somewhat gapping him, even when he's in the slipstream. So Sam might be running a lower downforce setup in Olive, which Olive would have all the joy of in the corners, but when it actually comes to it and overtaking the car, you want a car that's actually going to be quicker than the guy ahead when you're in the slipstream.
Yeah, at the moment it still doesn't look like he's able to gain, so Sam, as you said, might just be running that lower downforce, trying to find some speed to defend from, that might have been his thinking. He needs speed to defend from the guys behind as Push is starting to drop Timo behind, so Mills is into the pits, having an unfortunate race there, but that's going to put Bremen and Mearsman both into the points. So let's see if Olive in the back is able to get that podium position, but so Vasi doesn't seem to be under any pressure from these two at the moment. He's 1.1, which is not too much of a gap he can look after, or it's not much of a gap that can let him breathe, but that is enough to let him know that enough for him to see that these two are behind, putting pressure on each other, or I mean Olive putting pressure on Sam, that can give him a little bit of breathing space, so he just needs to work with what he's got here, but Sam is trying to come back at him, so we will have to see. I think
Push is going to be effective in this podium spot coming to the end of the race.
Yeah, so
he's taking out 8 tenths, 1.3 tenths of, 1.3 seconds of Olive since he got past Timo.
Yeah.
So I think Push, if he keeps up this pace,
he might be a force to be reckoned with. As we said, he was lapping on Karsten's pace, faster than Karsten almost. So it does not surprise me at all that he's catching up to them. But Olive, if he wants any sort of pace, if he has any sort of pace that he wants to show, he is going to have to get past like right now, because Push will be after him and may rain on his parade. So this is going to be detrimental to him, depending on Push's pace. So. And you can see them all in the distance there as the sky does go dark. The track temperature is still 19 degrees. So, first ever night race here in 2SRL. Delivering, even though we had a small grid, we've had a very entertaining race.
Yeah, it's been quite nice to see this battle for podium spots happen.
Yeah, this is the grip seems to still be there for them as well. The temperatures don't seem to be dropping as major. Actually, as I say, that is dropping a little bit. 18 degrees now, track temperature. So the tires are not going to be particularly great, I would think. But so far, these guys are holding their own. So let's see if Olive can get a good run here onto the start-finish straight. so far, not enough still. Look at this. As you can see, the eliminated rear of the Lexus from Olive's point of view. Just not able to find what he needs. Those extra few tenths of a second he might, or that extra few dozen kilometers per hour that he might need, or the extra dozen kilometers per hour he needs, so to speak. But again, we can see penalties play a factor here. Everyone's kept it clean for the most part, minus 2 drivers, I believe. So
It's been a very incident-free race actually. Like, there's not been a lot of contact.
yeah, there was like only a few incidences, and they were very minor. So good job to everyone. So right now, Olive's starting to fall back. Actually, not really getting a good run here, but Chumley is the one trying to put the charge back on as he tries to catch up to Salvasi and claim that P2. So roaring the engine right now, trying to catch up here through the Bose, chucking the car in. Salvasi goes a bit wide. Yeah, so that might give him what he needs here, and Salvasi's going to be under pressure now.
Was mine again.
Yeah, so he's struggling a bit. The grip might be gone for him. And this is going to be detrimental because look at the run Chumley has here. He's going to try and send it around the outside. He's going to think better of it there. So, but Salvasi will be aware of his presence, and that might have an effect on him. They make a bit of contact, so nothing bad there, thankfully. Keep an eye out here on Olive. Not close enough. But let's see how Salvasi responds to this pressure. This newly ignited pressure, so to speak. Timo in the back as well is holding off the threat of bandit hutting, so...
Oh, I guess never drive through.
As you jinxed it, so... That's the second one for Ligner, unfortunate. He will still score because Mills is in the pits, so... Better than nothing.
Yeah. Actually, hats off to Mills for wanting to continue the race. I think I would have retired there.
Oh yeah, Mills is 2 laps now actually, yeah, so... Yeah, great job to him. We like to see that.
Yeah. And I think Sam might actually have a good run here on Salvasi. Because the Ferrari is not the greatest in the straight, and we know that Lexus has been strong for how he's been doing the way he's been defending against Olive. And Sam, okay, he goes up the inside and he might get the move done before they go into the braking zone even.
Yeah, let's see how he does it. He does hold it late on the brakes. Salvasi tries to hold it around the outside, but he's going to be smart to let that one go, and he does. That might put him under pressure, yes, from Olive, who is going to send it right up the inside of Le Bose in a very fantastic move. If he can make that stick, and he does, so Salvasi unfortunately loses both podium positions, but is he going to send it back up the inside here of Olive? And he does, so... he's not going to take that down lightly, and that is fantastic racing from all 3 drivers.
And while this is happening, Push is just gaining and gaining and gaining.
So let's see, yeah, 3.9 now. Oh, forgive me, I was messaging something there. Filling something out. Olive does have a good run here on Salvasi. Chumley might have needed that because the threat of push is there, and now we are pretty much in the nighttime here, or as dark as it could get potentially. So this is very beautiful looking nighttime racing. We always like to see it, of course. If you like watching Singapore or Bahrain, of course. A couple of examples. I believe MotoGP does. I think Sepang has night races now for different categories, or like Le Mans.
I think it's Qatar, no?
Whatever, Ring 24 Hours I've seen at night.
Yeah.
So at the moment, Olive still not having the run he needs on Salvasi. So still in the back there, struggling a bit. We know he wants that podium, and in the background Push starting to make some gains as well.
Bush gained a full second on that lap alone with them Olive and Salvasi fighting.
55.2, I believe, or 55.3 for a push that time around. 56.2 for Olive, 56.8 for Salvasi, 55.8 for Chumley. So the weight is being turned up for these guys. 18 degrees again, so not too killer on the tires, but a bit of a struggle, I would think, for some of these guys.
Savachi's looking very racy again on the Chumley, and I think, he makes a little mistake on the exit there. That could have been the run he needed to get back ahead for that P2 spot.
Yeah, keeping here with Russell again, 55.7 there, 55.7. We have 55.7 all around, 55.3 though for push. So all three of these guys are in the 0.7s. This push is in the 0.3 again, or in the 0.3s again. So lapping consistently is the Aston Martin, and 2.7 seconds is the gap with or just a quarter of the race to go. As Illigner pits to serve his drive-through penalty for the second time, unfortunately. So the big gainers here, I mean Kessel, not too big of a gain, of course, compared since there's not that big of a grid, but Kessel from last place, I believe, up to P11, so great showing from him quietly there. Veldman holding up on to P8 there. As
Van der Hoodin is gonna have the move on Timo here. There goes Van der outside, and if he manages to get ahead of him into the braking zone, this might be Timo losing a position to Van der Hoodin.
Yeah, it seems as though he's already got it there as into scene, and Van der Hoodin leaps through into 6th place there, so good job to him finding a way through Timo's iron defense there and picking his moment very well indeed, as you can see those exhaust heat off the exhaust. Sorry?
Savasi got really squirmy at the exit there.
Well, that might give Olive
seems to be struggling quite. Yeah.
Yeah. So as I was saying there, Van der Hoodin. I forgot what I was saying. Yeah. You can see the heat off of the exhaust, which I find interesting, as Mearsman is getting flagged there for these guys. So moving out of the way there nicely, as they all come up to turn 1. This is a very strong fight here. Olive late on the brakes there, right on the diffuser of Salvasi, trying his utmost to induce a failure, an error, potentially, or trying to find his way through and spook him as if he can. That gap has come down to 2.3 behind for Push, who is going to be flashing potentially here soon, flashing Mearsman, thinking for blue flags. So.
I just say how amazing this game looks in the dark.
Oh yeah, I am very much fascinated with it. It is great. So this might be maybe we can do this again. I might put in my word and ask.
Yeah.
Because this is
there's a rumor that there's a rumor for Spa to be a full night race.
Oh,
and
I would
as
love
this
to
is
see
happening,
that.
Levi's getting a pretty good run in Savashi. I don't think it's going to be enough.
Yeah, it's not enough here as Push gets Push gets past Mearsman there, so he is now very much visibly in this fight. Now 1.8 seconds as Salvasi does go wide.
Yeah.
So
all the time he just gained from Olive's mistake, he's just lost in the next corner.
So
this is really gonna come down to the end. As Push is, he's gonna join this fight next lap, I think.
Yeah, it's 55.2 last time around, 55.6, 55.7, or 55.6 for Olive, 55.7s for Chumley and Salvasi. So let's see what this time around is. So 56.3 for, or 56 flat for Chumley, 56.3 for Salvasi, 56.3 for Olive, 55.3 for Push. A full second faster that lap. So He is turning the wick up as we approach the final 12 minutes of this race, so looking at about 6 more laps maybe of racing. So, or 6 or 5 laps I should say of racing. And now Push is well on this train, so Sam not out of the woods, even though he made that early pit stop and was very much going to be at a disadvantage. He is taking off, so Olive might just be getting held up by Salvasi, who is starting to feel the lack of.
I think Olive's close enough to get a run on Salvasi here, and if he does get the run, he needs to do it now because Push is going to be right up his diffuser come next time around at the straight, and the accident is difficult to get defend against on the straight as we saw earlier with Timo and the hooding.
Yeah, he's going to have a look here off the inside, but he's only just trying to spook him here. Salvasi, of course, not potentially going to fall for that, goes a mid-wide, but does keep it with the track limits there, as you can see by those markers. But Salvasi struggling here. Olive turning up the pressure here onto the Ferrari and trying to find his way through. That P3 is within grasp, and he wants it there, but you cannot count out, as we said, the Aston Martin, who was sitting on pole position, who has had a bit of a nightmare after the pit stops, unfortunately showing brilliant pace all race, even despite that the unfortunate situation in which he was put into. But now Salvasi turning it up as well, trying to get onto Sam, but getting a forward exit there, that might not help him at all. Sam potentially going to struggle soon. But at 10 minutes to go, of course, we still have a lot of racing to go here. Push has plenty of time to try and make this work. Once again, Olive trying to find his way through. You can see a little bit of understeer from him from what it looked like at the front, as is traditional with the Lamborghini. But my hot takes on the Lambo are not going to cease. But I mean, that is a characteristic of the Lamborghini. It is understeering, so
yeah.
Like quite understeering.
I've driven the Lamborghini. I actually quite enjoyed the Lamborghini. Me, Carson, and Chumley are gonna take the Lamborghini for 6 hours of Monza race.
Oh yeah, Monza's great. Yeah, I'll give it that. Monza's very fun, but that's about it.
Yeah. And we will be driving for the 2S Endurance Red Team. I can't remember exactly when, but sometime in November. So that's something to be hyped about. And before that happens, me, Chumley, and Carson again are taking on the 12 hours of Bathurst, which is going to be happening this weekend.
12 hours of Bathurst. That's going to be a good one, though. Bathurst is a very interesting track. I'm a fan of it. I like watching it. I believe I think I missed it. No, but the Bathurst 1000 is coming soon, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't missed it. Yeah. The premier race of my country, of Australia. Yeah, V8. If you guys don't watch V8 Supercars, I recommend it. It is. I only watch clips of it here and there, but V8 Supercars is one of my favorite categories. Which I would definitely drive if I had the right steering wheel for it. But
Rashi's very close to Chumley now.
Yeah, I can see that there. Salvasi might have the run he needs here as he pulls to the inside actually just to scare him off the racing line potentially. But of course, Sam's not going to fall for that though. For the time being, 8 minutes to go here. We are in quite dark conditions here.
This is anyone's position. Push could come through here and take P2. Chumley could get P4. Oliver could get P2. We don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, looking up
There's
front
4
here.
people fighting for P2. This is going to be great.
Looking up front here, Van den Hudding and Van den Hudding and Timo are still within the fight as well. They were struggling behind in some back marker traffic there. Van den Hudding does get a bit away there though, so that might help him. Now this has become a 4-car train though, as we said. Salvasi though might be under pressure, potentially from Olive, so we'll ride on board here. Let's see how fast that car is in a straight line. The Ferrari we know is not particularly fast. This does look like he is gaining, but very slowly gaining on Salvasi. Let's see if this is enough coming up to C corner. This might not be enough. He's going to pull to the inside. Let's try and get alongside, but not really thinking of it there again. Just kind of compromising his own line, if anything, I would think. But Sam running a little bit wide there, but he gets a good exit out of it.
And now let's see, as Felipe picks up the throttle as fast as he can. We're gonna ride on board here with Push for the time being to see what happens here. But these three are all embroiled in an insane battle at the moment. Look at how close they are here. This is getting exciting, so I hope you guys are stuck around for this, because this is going to be a photo finish, if anything, because we've only got like 3 laps to go here up this track. So
It's going to end in one way, and it's going to end in heartbreak for some.
yeah, it's going to be
I don't
heartbreaking.
know who yet, but someone's going to be heartbroken.
2 people will be heartbroken, 2 people will be very happy. Zalasi now, again, has a very strong run on Sam, who is defending to the inside here, but has to go back to the racing line. So let's see, as Olive right again on the back of him. Push still just lurking again. Let's try and get a better camera angle. Sam holding off this.
Oh, so Olive might have a look at the inside here.
Oh, does he
Oh,
actually
nice.
go for it?
So
No, he
it's
doesn't. So just trying again to scare Zalasi, but if I were him, I would not want to do that at the moment, potentially. I mean, because Zalasi does seem like he's able to fight Sam here, but this might be I've yet to see somebody go 3 wide. That's all I'm gonna say in these cars, or at a time like this. So let's see who has the bigger elbows here between these 4 drivers, or who has the biggest. I can't say what I want to say. Who's gonna lick the stamp? I'll put it in the words of the guy who I want to quote. Who's gonna lick the stamp here and send it here at the end as we're approaching the final parts of this race? It has been dominant from this man here, Alexander Karsten. 20 seconds in the lead, which is absolutely insane. Considering
Savati went a little bit wide. That's not enough.
yeah, this is still not helping him. Push not getting onto the back of this yet either, so Van den Hutting as well making a gap to Timo there, so that fight looks to be over. Veltman as well is only 1.4, so we're going to keep an eye out how that goes there. Let's see now, because yeah, we're going to get properly on board here. Try our best to get properly on board. Olive trying to get the run. Zalasi does go wide there. Is this going to be a good run for Olive? Because now, here we go then, Ferrari Power versus Lamborghini Power. Who's going to be the one to prevail here? This is still not enough for Olive. Or actually is it? Because look, here he comes down the inside. Is he going to be late on the brakes there? Just has a look. Zalasi does get a bit spooked there. So this is what he needs. He's going to try and get the switchback move here onto the second part here. Look how much speed he has got. This is going to be a really good run here. So I'm getting really excited. Is he going to send it up the inside? No, not yet. Again, he's just trying to scare Zalasi, and it's working because look how much grip he's losing from this, and Push is there lurking as well. Let's see now. This is going to give Sam some breathing space as well. Now, is the run onto the straight going to be good enough? Actually, Sam does get a little bit wide there, so not the perfect run for him. So Zalasi does get a good run. So now this is swung back into his favor. And Push gets a bit
Made a
sideways.
mistake on the exit.
So he might be out of this fight. So Sam trying his best to switch out of that slipstream, but again, this is not working. So I'm back forward there. Sorry for that. Here we go now. Zalasi does have a look. Is he going to try and go up the inside there? Not into C corner. So he's only going to have like 1 or 2 attempts more at this. From looking at it, actually, I'm thinking, yeah, just 2 attempts with the timer there, as into C Corsa, he loses the rear, and that's going to give Olive what he needs there, as he tries to go up the inside. These 2 wheel to wheel now, coming into the 3rd sector of the track here, and is Olive going to try and swoop it around the outside here? He doesn't do it there. Zalasi holds off, so this is not what they need to do. Zalasi losing out to Sam here, who's going to be running away with this now, so that is incredible fighting. I hope you guys are watching this because this is insane. If you're in the chat, we haven't really kept up with the chat, unfortunately.
Zalasi makes it. I think this is enough. I'm even going to run here.
Yeah, this is it there. He makes a very big mistake, and that is going to be costly for him. And that is Olive up into P3 for the time being in the podium position. And you can't hear it, but I'm sure the French crowd in the back there are going wild. But Zalasi tries to send around the outside, backs out of it actually. And now, with 2 laps to go here from the looks of it, Olive is going to have to get on with it and try and get that P2 off of Sam, because Sam has got a gap now, and Push is right on the back of sorry, I can't speak.
The question is, can Olive hold Zalasi and Push off in the straight, because we know this Lamborghini's been struggling down the straight, and Savage is very, very close. So I still don't think Olive's got this in the bag yet. This is still anyone's game.
Yeah, not yet though, but look at the run he gets. Let's see how fast Silvassi is in a straight line, and let's see how fast Push is in a straight line. That mistake may have cost him a little bit, so let's see. He did gain it back pretty much instantly, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to do much here. But look at the speed that Silvassi's got on Olive, who is probably not running the highest wing settings, and now up the inside he goes. This is going to be the battle for the podium position here, and he's already ahead coming up the scene corner. Is he going to try and fight it? They make contact, and that's him off the road! And after all of that, it's all gone downhill. And they both make contact. Olive trying to fight around the outside. And that ended in despair. You called it, Kimmy. That could not have gone any more dramatically than that. And now Push is the one in P4. So this turned from Olive showing up at the end. And now as Karsten does go on to the final lap here. And I am running out of breath. As I run out of breath. And we approach the last lap.
Take your breath.
I cannot believe what we are seeing here. Scenes here in the back here. Olive losing out on a podium position here, right at the end. And I don't know what to say. I don't know what the stewards would say about that.
Giving it your all, and to lose it on the penultimate lap.
Yeah, it did look like. I mean, from that angle, I mean, if I had to judge it, it didn't look like it was anyone's fault there. It just looked very unfortunate because Silvassi had his nose ahead going into the inside, and yeah, Olive tried his best to fight around the outside. But let's see, this is not over. Look how much he is gaining on Sam. No, Push gets a drive-through penalty right at the end. So that's just going to add time to him, I believe. It's going to be like 30 seconds or so at the end. So
no, if he just not this drive-through, he's going to get 80 seconds of time.
Oh no! So how is he going to do this? So I don't know, but we're approaching the final run here, onto the straight here, as Karsten goes into the final corner, has kept it within the track limits. Let's see how fast Silvassi is in a straight line. Sam is holding his own. Silvassi, though, look at how much speed he's got, but it's not going to be enough, is it? As Sam is doing his best to break that toe, driving absolutely insane here. These two into scene corners. Silvassi just sends it there. This is not over entirely yet. So I'm going to take a risk here and show the man who has just run away with it here. He did not take pole position, but he did take the all-important race win from start to finish here. Has led this race, and it is Alexander Karsten once again who wins here in the back, or in the front here in Paul Ricard. But let's see if these two are going to have a last-minute gasp for the podium here, for that final position here. Sam Chumley has made it work from the back there. Is Silvassi going to have a look up the inside here? He's right on him. Is he going to have a look here? He goes down the inside, and they both make contact. Pushes him a bit wide. That's a bit naughty, but I don't know what they're going to say about that. Push might get a run here. This is one of the most exciting finishes I've seen. But that's going to be the penalty, 30 seconds for him. So Sam does get P3 there, and Push gets P4. Silvassi takes P2. Pending that, I cannot believe.
Might get a penalty for that.
Yeah, that was a bit naughty.
What a finish.
What a finish. Photo finish if I've ever seen one. Van der Hutting takes P4, I believe. That's gonna be, yeah, with 30 seconds there. P5 for Veldman, I would think.
P4.
Potentially, yeah, and P6 for Timo. And Olive might get P7, but that is heartbreaking for him. And I imagine he is absolutely gutted and or furious with what happened there. And that is arguably the best race I've commentated for ACC.
He's doing donut. That was so exciting.
I cannot believe it. That was incredible from those guys there. Congratulations. I mean, regardless, there's Silvassi, Mills doing donuts there again. So, the quote-unquote murderer in the woods, as he put it lightly, doing donuts in the middle of nowhere, here in the dark, on his lonesome, to prove his point. But that's just an inside joke for us. So that is our race.
As he gets disqualified.
He's disqualified there at the finish. Olive, I think he took blame for that incident there. I'm not certain, but
I am going to let them know. Oh my goodness, I need a breather, and I think you do too,
My
Kimmy.
heart is racing.
So,
That was such exciting stuff.
yeah, even Ollie's saying here in the Discord, what did I just witness? Okay, so I'm gonna get Satoshi in here for our first interview. And, jeez,
Satoshi!
congratulations. That's your
Thank
first
God.
podium.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it that I actually got the podium with this field. I can't believe it.
Yeah, as we said, this is an
That's a
insane
very,
grid.
very strong
It
performance.
was.
And what a race to get a podium.
Yeah, I can't believe it. Well, I can't believe it.
Yeah, I was thoroughly impressed with you and your pace there. You were just on fire the whole race, and your racecraft there. I mean, the last corner we're gonna look at probably, but it
Yeah.
looked okay from a distance. So we don't know, but we'll see what Sam thinks of it. And so, but either way, it was fantastic racing.
I asked him and he said it's no worries about that. So yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
looked fine. It looked to be fine. It was.
Yeah, and Olive right now in chat has just said that he turned in on Satoshi, and he's
Yeah.
blaming himself.
At
It
first
looked
I
like a
thought
fair
it
move
was
from
my
my
fault.
angle. Yeah, it did look like it was fair. So, either way, I mean, discussion of that aside, it was insane how good, incredible
It was
that fight was.
insane. Yeah.
That fight was insane. You were rapid in a straight line for starters, which shocked me. I didn't think the Ferrari was that quick, especially compared to a Lambo. You were.
Yeah,
you
but
made-
the Lexus was faster.
Yeah,
in
the
the
Lexus
straight
was
Lexus
very
was
good. Yeah,
Very strong in the straight line.
it was.
But,
Run us
yeah.
through your emotions there. Run us through.
Quali was when I did practice, I was like doing 54. Well, it was not 54s, it was like high 55. But yeah, quali lap was okay. I just like I said to myself that how am I in that place? And then at the start I took it really safe. I tried to look at it safe. So I lost 2 places, and then both Mercs are spun basically at the long right hander, and then I tried to pulled away for like a second. I couldn't. I was like try to maintain the pace of the guys ahead, especially to push. Which worked out, I think. But I don't know what happened with him when in the pit stop. I followed Alex Carsten, but I saw the guys behind are pitting, and then I followed Alex to stay my place. I even asked myself, I don't know how I did fast push. I don't know what happened with him.
He had a dodgy pit stop, I believe.
Yeah, he had a very weird pit stop.
Okay, so and then I tried to be as consistent as possible, and I think it worked out. And then the last 20-25 minutes was like insane in terms of battling with Antoine and Sam. And then I tried to like as I mentioned, the Lexus top speed is just unreal, and I was like, when I tried to pass Antoine, I was like, oh, finally I am faster than someone else in the speed in the straight line with the slipstream. And then that thing happened. I tried to give him pace. Sorry. But yeah, I don't know like what happened, but yeah, it is what it is, I guess. And then last corner, I just sent it, and
yeah, I mean, there was no other way. You're gonna get P3 no matter what. You might as well send it and try your best.
Yeah, I would have get P3 anyways because Push get a drive-through at the end. So
yeah, exactly. So you had nothing to lose, and honestly, just give us a bit more entertainment. And that run to the line was
Yeah.
So exciting.
I can't believe it, really. I can't believe it that I actually made it. And what I said about in first race, that my goal is to get a podium by the end of the season, I didn't even meant to be here. I thought it would be like maybe in Kyalami or even Bathurst, especially Bathurst because it's really battle royale, but not here because I hate this track in general. But yeah, I am shaking and I still can't believe it that I actually made it.
I mean,
I
can't
very-
believe
you
very
collected yourself. You drove fantastically. Simply,
Ah.
you just did fantastic, and there's not much to say. Like all of you, we're quite we're quite excited to see that. I don't think I've ever commentated that excited before because I was.
I'm gonna rewatch it
Yeah,
tomorrow.
you guys,
anyway.
I suggest you rewatch it. It is insane on the stream, and it's very good. But I mean, this is what we want to see as well. Claiming
Yeah,
your
hopefully.
goals, driving like that, having fights like that. That's why
Yeah,
we do
hopefully.
this. So I'm gonna leave it.
This
you
is
at
why
that.
we race.
This is why we race. Yes. So I'm gonna leave it at that. So congrats
Yeah,
again.
thanks
You enjoyed
guys.
it.
Thanks
Yeah.
guys.
Oh,
Yeah,
fantastic
see you
job.
guys.
All right. So let's move him
It's,
there. Let's get Sam in.
Yeah.
So here he is. Chump
P2,
himself.
congrats.
P2.
Was
Or
it
P3,
P2?
I mean P3. You know, he lost it at the
Oh.
line. Yes. Sorry,
yeah,
Sam.
no.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm pretty sure the FIA will look at that last
Yeah.
corner between
Yeah,
me
yeah,
and
We
we're
don't
gonna,
know
we,
if
yeah,
it's
yeah,
P3 or
we might have a
P2.
look.
But,
We speak after Sam. We speak after.
yes.
Congrats on the results, and what a race to finish in the podium.
Yeah, well, I mean, I literally did no practice for this race, so like, I can't remember where I qualified, P5 or 6 or something like that. P2, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
No way I'm going to catch Carsten, but I want P2 in the championship at least.
Yeah,
Best of the rest.
you did a really good job there. Yeah, Carson. I mean, he was like I said, he is like you guys are rapid and it's on your own, but this guy's on another level. How insane
Yeah.
he is! It's and I mean, you still were like on a roll there with that Lexus. Like the strategy, I thought, like we mentioned it, you always usually go for that undercut, and
Yeah.
then
So undercut OP.
yeah, and then you get the track position to hold it. This time around, it seemed to work as well. So
Yeah, it's just like in most previous races where I have to pit like within lap 3 or something, it's because I have damage or whatever, but I didn't have damage this time, so I could pit a bit later and then still be on the pace. So yeah.
Yeah, it seems like the
Tactic.
strategy worked out for you. But
Yeah.
you had a full 40 minutes of a Ferrari up behind you, and you still managed in the end, well, until the last corner, basically keeping him behind. There was a bit of back and forth between you two, and then in the end, the Lexus just took off on the straight.
Yeah. Yeah, I just said in chat the max I got to was 287.
280.
Which is yeah.
7.
That's
So
ridiculous.
that's dodgy. I'm thinking he has a Ferrari engine in there. So let's have we'll have a look at that later. But
Scrutineering, yeah.
yeah, interesting. Yeah, but next week when Sam is going 260 max with minimum wings, it's because we know why. But anyways, we speak after about that. But anyways, I mean, there's not much left to say other than again,
How was
like
the
we said.
battle?
Oh yeah, the
How
battle.
was
Yeah.
the what?
How was it being in that battle?
What, against Satoshi?
Yeah.
It's like I basically like had to try and force him into mistakes where you have to get good traction. So out of like turn, I can't remember what it is, but you know, the one before the long straight, as well as basically all of sector 3, try and slow him down in the bad places. But you know, the Lexus is fast in the straight line anyway, so it's like if he was like 0.4 behind, I knew I was safe. So if he was any closer than that, I knew I had to weave a bit, which I did once or twice.
Yeah, it was a really exciting race. I recommend rewatching it because it was so.
I'm
exciting.
going to.
It
Definitely.
was insane. Yeah, you it's entertaining. It's like probably the most entertaining stream we've done. So
Nice.
yeah.
Take that.
Anyways,
What happened to Push, by the way?
He had
Under the
yeah.
pit stops, he messed up. It's like he went into the pits and he didn't. He came in too short, so he turned off his engine and all that, and then it didn't set
He
him up.
didn't
'Cause he,
set him up, so he
Yeah.
parked badly.
Unfortunately, like Kimmy was saying, the pit stops end up inadvertently sometimes deciding things for us. Like
Yeah.
I was fairly convinced that he was going to be giving Carson a hard time there with the undercutters especially, but
Yeah.
yeah, unfortunately he was he got he got held there and pretty much lost out for it. But I mean, he still showed the pace. I mean, all you guys did. So
Yeah, he was catching up to us like every lap, and then just sort of stayed behind Olive until they crashed or whatever. And then yeah, I think he got me just on the line, but he had a drive through for track limits. So
yeah, he got it right
Yeah.
at the end, like on the
Yeah.
last lap. He got it, unfortunately. So I mean,
Rip push.
yeah, it's unfortunate, but regardless, it was a fantastic performance from all of you, even Push, and it was. I mean, yeah, I have no word. I'm kind of speechless to an extent from what I saw. It was just that good. It was so good of a race that like I'm trying to figure out what to say about it that hasn't already been said, because I want
Yeah,
there to be more to be said about this. How good it was. Like I want you guys to understand that these cars are not easy to pass in, and this game is not easy to drive. Like I would know because I've tried it and it is extremely difficult. Yeah. So these guys fighting at this level with this speed and doing it like that proves what I say about how fast this grid is and how gifted these guys are as sim racers. So
Yeah.
I mean hats off. That's all I can say. Hats off to you. And everyone else who is racing. So yeah. Unless Kimmy, I don't know if Kimmy has anything else to say.
I have nothing else to say apart from I'll see you for practice for Bathurst 12 hours. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And
shit.
also for tomorrow, yes.
Oh,
For
that's this weekend, isn't it? Oh god.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
When are we practicing? Wednesday?
Yeah. On Wednesday. Yep.
And then
Let's
tomorrow
go.
for Hungary, 2SRL
Oh,
Tier 3,
yeah,
yes.
right.
And then
Hungary.
Yeah.
I have a setup for you guys, I think. Or it's
Oh,
that time of the
balls.
week where I have to give you guys a setup, so
Let's go.
yeah,
Let's go.
the McLaren boys, we tune in for that tomorrow. I'll mention it after, but yeah, we'll leave you to it. So thank you, Sam. Congrats
Thank
on the
you.
podium.
Thank you.
All right. So let's finish it off with
With Olive.
the hometown hero here, or the home country hero, Olive here. That was really unfortunate. We're really sorry that it had to end like that. It was insane driving from you up till then. Like you were just on a roll and driving super good and picking very good fights, really good racing, and just like the fights with you, like with you and Satoshi in the beginning. I saw like when you got ahead, and you guys were getting switchbacks on each other. It was just insane stuff to see.
Yeah, it was such a great battle. I'm a bit gutted that it ended like this. Like we battled with Sam and Satoshi for the whole race, basically. But yeah, I mean, as I said, I only have myself to blame. Satoshi was on the inside at the end of the straight, and I tried to turn in a bit too early, and I hit him.
It's easy
Actually,
to make.
nothing
Oh,
bad happened to him.
Yeah.
yeah. It's easy to make those misjudgments
Which I'm
because of how close the racing is.
And how
So-
quick it is, especially into that corner. Like
Yeah.
the speed you take to get that corner right is insane. So I'd say I wouldn't beat yourself up on that one too much because you did an amazing job fighting with Satoshi the whole time. Even though we saw that the Lamborghini on the straight was probably the slowest of the three cars, as you really struggled to get past it, but you still managed to get past him. So I say you can be really proud of what you have achieved because you made that race so exciting.
Agreed. Yeah. It was insane to watch. It was just incredible to see you guys racing it out and how you guys are approaching. Just pretty much approaching the track in general, approaching where to pick your moves, trying to find a gap. It was just incredible stuff, and just like again, like I was saying earlier, I don't have like I can't find the words to say what I'm thinking because it's like it's kind of like simply already been said all over over and over again, but it's like this I want to say more because it was such a good race, and you guys did such a good job. So I
Oh
think you
yeah, I
should be
want to
very
say
proud.
like congrats to yeah, and to Satoshi as well because it was expected that he was so high up after the quali, and honestly, I thought that with the pressure and all, he would make a mistake, and he actually made absolutely no mistake the whole hour, which it's really great from him.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, it's good to see. I want to give you a shout out there. That's like the sportsmanship you're showing. Like it's easy to think at the time. Like I mean, I'm extremely guilty of it. So you get into an incident with another driver, you instantly chuck a finger to blame them.
Yeah. It's you get very
Whereas,
heated with it, but
yeah,
you kept it very professional, very sportsmanlike, and very clean.
and you're complimenting him as well and everything. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's just really great to see. So, um, yeah, well, yeah, here we in the commentary booth, and I'm sure the people who are left watching the stream really do approve of that and appreciate your attitude. So, uh, yeah, that's something we should mention. So thank you for that. But anyways, if there's nothing else to add, I think we'll wrap up the stream now. So, Kimi,
Yes.
do you have anything? Or
I just want to say congratulations to like Carson again. Very dominant performance, but also like to you, Olive, and to Chumley, and to Savashi, or Satoshi as he's known as. What a race that was, and you guys put on the greatest entertainment I've had commentating ACC, and for that I say thank you. And Olive, I want to personally tell you that I said on stream as well, but I think you are the driver that's improved the most this season. And I honestly do believe if you keep this up, you have a potential to be a top 3 finisher at the end of the championship. So thanks for making this race so good again.
yeah, I echo Kimi's comments. Thank you again, Olive, and yeah, we'll see you next week. And next week, I wouldn't be surprised to see you up there. So, yeah, you enjoy the rest of your day, and I will move you out here. So, let's see. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it from us. We're gonna need a bit to recover from that one.
Yeah,
That was a great one. Yeah, if you haven't already, here's my
you sounded
weekly
quite upset. That
yeah,
makes me feel bad.
as our admin of the league, that Bance would say.
Yeah.
If you take your mouse, cover it over the thumbs up, and just, dare I say, smash it. And yeah, just do that because we need to smash the like button for that one because that
This
was
is honestly, this is a race I'm gonna rewatch, even though I am rewatching this because this is one for the history books of 2SRL, I believe.
yeah, that was just insane. So, if you want to see more stuff, next week we're at I believe we're at what is it? Is it Hungary next week or is it let's see. Where are we? I will figure it out. Yeah, we are at Hungary next week. So I guess right. The Hungaroring, the 19th. There is a very high chance I am not able to commentate next week. So that's unfortunate. I will let you guys know. But if Kimi is here, he potentially should be here. He might be able to take up the mantle.
Well, the reason I'm a co-commentator is because I'm not on my actual PC. I'm on my laptop.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, yeah, we will sort it out. We should have it sorted out next time. But yeah, I know Hungary is not the most exciting track, but we said that about Paul Ricard with
And
16 people, and we got probably the best race we've gotten in any of the ACC seasons. One of the best. I don't know if it's the best because there have been some really good ones up there. I would have to go back, but this is probably up there.
Yeah.
So and in 2SRL in general, I'm pretty sure I don't think I've seen an exciting race like that for pretty much like I mean I've commentated since season 4 of F1 2018 for 2SRL. And I commentated probably the most exciting race in 2SRL history, I thought, at that time. So if you go back and watch season 4 Monza, that was a great day for some.
Was that the one where Tipsy?
Yeah, no
didn't
spoilers,
go
no
to
spoilers, no spoilers. But
Okay,
Tipsy,
okay, okay,
I will
okay.
spoil qualifying though, because Tipsy does get the most incredible pole position lap time I had seen. Like,
Yeah, that is one for the history books as
yeah,
well.
yeah, that just in general. I mean, it's because it's Tipsy. Shout outs to Tipsy. Yeah. So before his wife comes into the chat and berates me for talking about how great her husband is, I'm gonna end it there. But yeah, this is one of the greats. But yeah, if you enjoyed it, tune in next week because we have Hungary. And but tomorrow we have 2SRL in Hungary for F1 2020. So Hungary for a different game coming
Let's
up here.
go.
And the whole week, yeah. So from tomorrow until next Monday, we're gonna have Hungary. So if you like the Hungaroring, just tune in. So I guess you could call this EGL's Week of Hungary Pride or because I mean maybe I'm just hungry, but no,
Oh
I'm
my
sorry.
god, dude.
No, yeah, I'm actually hungry, but yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
maybe
yeah,
that's why
okay.
I'm saying it, but
Go have some lunch.
yeah. We have tier 3 in yeah, tier 3 2S tomorrow. Tier 4, 3, 2, and 1 coming up Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday respectively for SLR. So and then Sunday will be tiers 2 and 1 for 2SRL. And then of course Monday or next Monday the 19th will be Hungary. So with that, I believe we will cut it there. Thank you all for watching that one. And if you are watching this one back, thank you for watching it back because that means you listen to our constant advertisements. And thank you again. I am Miss Triton, and I was joined by Kimmy once again, and we will see you guys hopefully next week. Thank you all.
Thank you.